Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris Army, and this is our new UK Jumps stable. We've moved stables, new schedule. Going to continue this series on from where it was because it's featuring the same horses, just with a few additions and changes here and there. But yeah, the other game was also starting to crash a lot at a certain date. In fact, multiple dates. I think one was like 3 or 4 days from where we left off. There was a hard crash. The only way I could get around that one was by going into the day's racing and skipping the first two. I think the third race was crashing or the fourth race was crashing, so I went and skipped to the result of that race. 'Cause if I tried to skip that race, it would crash. So skip to the result, which somehow got around it, and then I could just end the day and carry on. So if I tried to normally skip the day or view racing or anything, it would just crash. So I think fourth race, I had to view the result of that one race, and we got past it. And so I decided just to test for the rest of the year, just skipping large chunks over and over and over. I found two more places where we crashed. One was February 4th, which was the third race, I remember. Yeah, because we were 3 days, fourth race. February 4th was the third race. And then February the 8th, I couldn't get around. I couldn't even do anything. So going into the day's racing wouldn't work, etc. etc. So we can't finish the season in the old save. That's basically what it is. We cannot finish the season in the old save. So I've had to port everyone over. So there are a couple of interesting things to add on to here. And yeah, you recognize most of these horses. You know, Farana becomes Fahana because we had to change it. Tatanjura becomes the Tatanjuri. Malibu Sun becomes Malibu Son. Just little changes like that in it. You know, a few other horses that we've added in from our transfer list. Lefou, if you remember, Lefou, was a grade winning horse that during one of these tests actually came up for auction. And so I went and grabbed him. Um, Pretty solid, nothing crazy, but pretty solid and should help with the breeding. And it's not adding from the outside. It's not really adding too much more from the US save that are like top quality horses. It's just adding a lot of UK horses and young US horses that were probably not going to be great horses in that US save anyway. So I don't want to bring over too much like Brazilian and Hague. Maybe will come over just because of distance. Um, you know, if I'm doing that, I don't want to do Hague Candy, Hague Violetta, etc. You know, Brazilian will do, and yeah, I think that's kind of the way I'm looking at it, is trying to keep it now British with a good schedule. I still have 40 horses to bring through. Another one that came up to auction that I didn't bring through yet, but I'll bring through next year. I'm more likely to be for a breeding is Accordion, who has come again from the UK save. And you can see where they've come from by the flags. If I go right down to the bottom, I know Radwa Dark has come from the US as a breeder. Maureen's Desserts, another breeder. So, yeah, a bunch of 1-year-olds, but we've got 3 broodmares of the future. Star Remedy, another one that can come in as a little racer, and Accordion as probably primarily a brood sire as well. So, yeah, we've got a lot of different horses to bring in and do some stuff with while we're waiting for our breeding program to really get up and running. But it's probably gonna be pretty quick. You can see here we've got Harmonique Barrister in the breeding barn. Good, not great, but as a 4-year-old, that's pretty good. She could race. My thought is with all these, they're all 4 and 3-year-olds. my thought is to bring in dedicated breeders and have these be more kind of, well, put these back out to racing over time. Destination Daz, again, a solid set of stats. Nothing incredible. Muladies, who was bred within the other game, so we are seeing them. The Artful Talon, Besito Del, and of course, over from America, Grey Sacri, who is good but not great as well. So we've got a bunch here to breed from. Uh, a 3 mile, 2 2 4s, a couple of 2s. That's not too bad. Our international sires, you can see we've got so many grade 1 sires to work from. Pretty happy. A lot of the a lot of the 1-year-olds in here, I did some test breeding with Roscoe and Hurricane. That's pretty much where all those 1-year-olds are from. So I'm actually going to leave the 1-year-olds off. But next season we will bring in Accordion, Featherstar, Maureen's, Bootylicious, Dark. What's that? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I believe these are all from an American, from a UK breeding save, sorry. Yeah. And that one is from, wait, are these all UK? I thought one was American. No, they're all UK. Okay. Yeah, I'll bring those in. Because those were the ones that kind of bred early and were in there anyway. So that's fine. Everything's good. Yeah, a lot to update on. So, like I say, we'll bring those in. We'll leave these yearlings, and this will then be my British yearling transfer list. I'll be building this out. But we'll pull, like I say, these 10 in, basically, next season. And that'll be our setup then. And like I say, the only other thing that we're probably going to do is bring Brusingham and Haig in, and he'll start his 3-year-old season in the breeding barn. 4-year-old season might be in the field. We might race 4-year-olds. I don't know yet on this schedule, but that's fine. And we'll see how he goes from there, because I think he might turn out to be a good jumper. I think a lot of you are interested in seeing him get out and jump as well. So running through the other horses we've got Greta Elegance. Solid horse. Not really sure of a distance, but as a 5-year-old, I think looks okay and could be something. Our other 5-year-old is Teenage Odds. And again, not amazing. These aren't like phenomenal horses. These aren't game-breaking horses. This is kind of the same level of horses we've had in the other save. We worked our way up to this level, so I feel okay about bringing these horses in. A lot of these younger horses are better, but also our breeding was getting to the point where we were starting to produce yearlings that looked like that. And you'll see with the 5 yearlings at the bottom of that transfer list, when we bring those over, those 2 and 3-year-olds we've got in that breeding barn are definitely not above the level we were starting to breed. So that's fine. Sally Sugar looks okay again. Not amazing, but a solid 6-year-old. Then Farhana, little weaker, but could be okay, maybe. Totality, again, is solid. We got quirks. I don't know what this quirk is. I'm hoping that when we run it, we'll get some kind of feedback. We'll learn what the quirk is, and we'll know 75% would be that thing. Whether or not it affects us, I'm not too sure. Totality is there. Then Tartan Jury, solid horse, one of our best horses that we managed to get. We did buy him, and we also bought Malibu Sun, of course. And those two are fantastic. So I think on the stallion side of things and on the filly side of things, we're pretty decently set up right now for breeding, so I'm pretty happy with that. But I also want to race some of these, and like I say, Leifu came up in the auction, and so I brought him in this year. So the idea was we're going to race Leifu, Malibu Sun, Tartan Jury, and Totality, and they're kind of in or around their primes. We'll kind of see what they do this year. Leifu and Malibu Sun probably go into the breeding barn next year, and then we'll bring in a accordion for a year of racing. He'll be 11. We'll breed with Leifu and Malibu Sun, and then after that, we can put accordion into the breeding barn, breed from him. By that time, Tartan Jury's done racing. I can put him in the breeding barn, breed from him. Totality's probably along somewhere in that timeline over the next 3 or 4 years, will also then have been in the breeding barn. And that'll be us kind of set up quite nicely, I think, with, maybe Farhana, Sally Sugar also going into the breeding barn at that point. Pretty much everybody in the breeding barn, apart from Grace Acree, who I do not want to race. She is here to breed. But everybody else will come out, and they will be 7 or 8 at that point coming into their primes, with Teenage Odds and Greater Elegance, if they survive that long, coming out of their primes. So I think that's kind of how I'm looking at it with the horses, like Accordion, and of course Featherstar, Bootylicious, Maureen's Dessert. They'd all be 6 or 7 coming into their primes. Radwood Dark's coming in primarily to breed anyway, so that's fine. And yeah, these yearlings will be, 5 years old themselves. So I think that's how it all stacks out. So just want to give a very brief overview of the horses we've got, the quality levels we're at, what we've got in the breeding barn, and why right now that's going to change. And only Grace Acree is going to sit in there, because I do think primarily that Radwood Dark's coming in from the transfer list. Totality, Farhan, and Sally Sugar within a year or two are all probably going to be in there. And that would give us 5 horses in the breeding barn. And like I say, we've got Accordion on the list, we've got Leifu, Malibu Sun, and Tartan Jury. That kind of gives us 4 years of, brood siring as well. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We're on the road to 1,000. We're not that far away. Let's please get there. While you're there, please do smash that like button. It helps out a lot. Leave a comment for the algorithm. You know the deals, boys and girls. Yeah, with that, I think the next thing I want to look at, just in case you haven't seen this, by the way, we built this live. I recorded the whole process, my whole thought process, all the issues, where things were crashing, why it wasn't working, how the editor doesn't work very well at times, and how to get around all these issues, how to mod a modded schedule without any issues. Finally, after I figured it, it's taken me 2 or 3 weeks to put in the groundwork. It took me an hour and a half to get this done on a video. It is a long video, but if you are doing it yourself, there might be some pointers in there. It just went up this morning when I'm recording this on Saturday morning. It's in the tutorial tips and tricks and cheats playlist that we've got going on. I think it's video 8 or 9 in that series. I think 8. And I've got an idea for another couple of follow-ups to that video, being how to manually edit schedule files and how to manually edit feature race files. So you can add or change feature races. We glanced at that in that video. How to manually edit the schedule files we had a longer glance at, but we didn't really do it a lot that way. We went full bore into the schedule editor within the game itself. So if you want to know how we built this, what it looks like, what kind of the process is, then by all means check that video. Please do give some love to that playlist, because all your little questions about Starters Orders 7 might be answered there. And we will continue on with the release of Starters Orders 8, hopefully at some point this year. Last we know, it'll be this year. I don't know when, but I'm praying that Mark is working hard on it and getting everything set up, and that it should release this year, but also in a very good state. It looks really good. I'm very impressed. And I've loved Starters Order 6 and Starters Order 7. So, you know, my money's on Mark to get that right. There's still a few things I'd like to be added, but I understand it's very difficult as a one-man show to get things done, especially to the high level of quality that he's been doing and wants to do and elevate even further. So kudos to him for that. But yeah, I want to take a look now as well quickly at the schedule itself, so you can kind of see what it looks like. Best thing is we do have the Cheltenham Festival that is in the game. I did check towards the end of that video. I was like trying to look. There's also a French race that we're missing, the Criterion or whatever. I think it might be like a mile 2 for 2-year-olds. I don't think we have that. And then I was just recently asked as well, what about February with the Irish, the 2-day event Irish? I think it's like 8 Grade 1 races. We don't have them. We have 2 of them. We do have 2 of them. I think they're at Leopardstown. We have the big 2. We don't have the full race calendar for those. But this is kind of what it looks like. Basically everything, almost everything that we had from Ireland and the UK is in here. So absolutely everything that we already had is in here. There might be a few little bits missing here and there, but we have everything that we had pretty much, plus all the grade 1s, all the grade 2s, and all the grade 3s from both of those countries. So UK and Ireland totally as complete as I could find with what I had. Without adding extra feature races, we put them all in. So that's a more complete British and Irish schedule. I'm happy with that. France, we took way back and we only added in their grade 1s and took everything else out. And that happened around the world. We took Germany out completely. We took Switzerland out completely. We took so much out. But I think there's grade 1s from the UK, from Ireland, from France, from I think New Zealand. Not all of them, but a decent amount from New Zealand's in here. Australia's in here. Canada's in here. Japan, I think, is in here. Hong Kong, Dubai, I think Dubai's in, but only for one race meeting, maybe. Maybe I've got that wrong. But anyway, we'll look through. Oh no, there's no jumps in Dubai, is it? That's the flat racing, because I also edited a flat schedule. But we will look. So basically, it's a lot of grade 1s, and yeah, a lot of graded races. Basically, I think France has got grade 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. UK and Ireland's got absolutely everything, and selected other countries got grade 1. So it's a much more full and competitive schedule, with the Grand National being made into a grade 1 handicap instead of a grade 3, because I want that extra profile and spotlight on that race, because that is our ultimate goal. As you can see here, we do start in January, not in May, as the other schedule did. And we got a handful of 2s and 1s and whatnot, but yeah, you should see that it's still a very complete schedule. And, UK and Ireland pretty much just everything are in. We get to the end of January, we do have Ascot, our first grade 1, 2 mile 1 Clarence House Chase. Nice, solid opener. There's a bunch of little grade 2s and whatnot. And then we get to the meetings here at the start of February. Like I say, we didn't get the full sort of 8 grade 1 races in, but we do have the Irish Champion Hurdle on the 5th. And then on the 6th, we've got the Irish Gold Cup. So those are the 2 kind of headlines of each day. But like I say, I think there's 3 other grade 1s on each of these days in reality, whereas they weren't available for us to select. and I didn't add them into the feature races, which is kind of why I want to go over that in my next sort of tutorial video. But we've got those in, so we've got kind of big Irish meetings at the start. We got that first grade one in January at Ascot. Then we got start of February. We've got the pair of grade ones in Ireland for that meeting, and then in February here back to Ascot. We got Ascot Chase. We got some nice meetings here, a bunch of maidens and whatnot. And then the Cheltenham meetings. So we got, the old course. We got the Champions Hurdle in there. Queen Mother Chase. Got the Stayers Hurdle and the Ryanair. We got the Cheltenham Gold Cup. So, yeah. Our first, real big meeting is at Cheltenham in March, as it should be, and as was missing from the other schedule. And then, of course, we come down start of April. Aintree, Betway, the Aintree Hurdle, and the Melling Chase there, with the Stayers Hurdle and the Grand National on the 9th. So we get our nice big meeting there. That's kind of the meat and potatoes of our schedule is March and April, as the British racing calendar really is. We got Cheltenham, then we got Aintree. You can see here we got little grand jump from Nakayama still in here. You can see the grade 2 from Australia, so we got those in. Got another grade 1 there. Then we back to Punchestown. A couple of grade 1s over the next 3 or 4 days. So this is the big kind of end of April meeting for Ireland. And then again, back over to Australia. We got a 3-mile 4, so we've actually got some distance in, the Grand Annual Chase. We'll see kind of what that looks like. And then we got France's big meetings in May. The Alain de Braille, the Grand Steeple Chase, and the Coast d'Hays as well. Very nice to have those in. I think some of those were missing as well. And then, again, a nice little run at Ladbrokes. And then New Zealand. There aren't that many New Zealand races, but here I kind of wanted to keep some distance against a 2-mile 4 for the Grand National Hurdle and the Grand National Steeplechase at 3-3. I definitely wanted those in. Got another 3-2 in Australia. So that you can see here, the way it's built. Australia, New Zealand, Japan. I think, New Zealand and Japan, I think there's only grade 1s. Australia and France, I think, are grades 3, 2, and 1. But nothing else. And then UK and Ireland, there's absolutely everything. With the Cheltenham meeting, with a couple of other extra races kicked in. So if you go France, 2-7, or you can go to Down Royal for a 3-mile. So if you've got two that's running around 3-mile, we've got 2 different races. You can go down the same day at the end of October. A 3-3, a 2-3 over in France. We still got all our little 2-milers as well, but a lot of these grade 1s are really bridging a lot of distance. So, yeah, we're coming into November. There's a lot of 2-mile 1 grade 1s. But there's also quite a lot of 2-6 to 3-4. So if we do have any stayers out there, that'll be good. Certainly kind of hoping we breed more into there. As you can see there, another 3-1. We've got a 2 and a 3 here at Kempton. Nakayama. Then we got the Christmas meeting in Ireland. So the Rewards Club. And we got the Christmas Hurdle. And then the Ryanair Hurdle to finish off. So I think most of the big meetings in Ireland, yes, we don't have all the races, especially from the February meeting. We don't have the New Year's grade 1s either. But we do have Cheltenham. We do have all the races that we kind of had before in terms of the high grades. Everything's set up, I feel, in a better place to actually play long term, and develop some horses. So I think I need to start by figuring out distances. You seem to be, I would guess, somewhere on 2-4 with your breeding indicator. It might be a 3. So we might be able to test here. So a couple of grade 2s. And then we got the Unibet Irish Gold Cup. I feel fairly happy doing that. Oh, we got our jockey, by the way. The best jockey I could find. I did a lot of scouting, but Sam Twiston-Davies is our jockey. If it's not going to be him, if we need to find a second, it's going to be Chester Williams. Then Brian E. Fost, Sean Bowen, and Leighton Aspel are all close. If none of those are available, Richard Johnson, Lee Edwards, then Danny Cook, Kieran Gethings, Keelan Woods, William Kennedy, Craig Nickel, Connor Bruce. That is my order of jockeys. I've got 12 backups for Sam Twiston-Davies for this save, so I never have to worry or wonder who I'm going for. It's all going to be open up. So Leighton is going to be one of ours. He is pretty solid. But yeah, Sam is a great jockey. Very, very excited. So I'm going to try 3. Malibu Sun, I would say more 2-2, but from experience with Malibu Sun, I do kind of feel like 2-1. And we got Clarence House. And that's the difference now. When we know our distance, there's probably, in any given month, going to be a grade 1 to run. Maybe every 2 months, there'll be at least one grade 1. So we should have like 6 races, no matter what the distance. If the horse is good enough, then that's fine. I know Tanton Julia likes 2-5. There's nothing at 2-5, 2-6 so far. There's some 2-4s, but they're not going to come in yet. And then Totality is a little 2-miler, so the Irish Champion Hurdle, one of the 2 that we actually have on the schedule. So that's kind of cool. So we've got the Gold Cup and the Champion Hurdle. Like I say, we only have these 2 out of the meetings, but we are going to run them both. One with Totality, one with Leifu. Malibu Sun running at Ascot in that meeting for the Clarence House Chase, the first grade 1 on the schedule. So I haven't designed it that way, but it's just worked out that way. And then the 6-year-olds, I don't really feel are grade 1 ready. So I'm not really sure what to do with them. Again, Farhana might be 2-1 to 2-2. So might Sally Sugar. I think Sally's probably better to run the Dublin Chase. Which means there's not really anything group race for Sally, for Farhana, unless we go down to 2 miles, which I just don't think works. We'll come back to her. And Teenage Odds, again, don't think there's going to be too much there. We might get something with Greater Elegance. So I don't mind the 2 mile. I kind of feel like it might be a touch further. And a grade 2 and a 5-year-old's crazy, but this is a new schedule, so I don't really know either. I think we're going to test it with Greta. Because pretty good horse, lots of extra speed, good cruising burst, and if you've seen my video on the flat save, you know I really my sign of a good horse is going to be fill potential up to 90, so absolute potential doesn't really matter. Realized potential, aka ability, when that dark green bar hits 90, we've got a good horse. If we've got 80 or more extra speed, then it's a very good horse. And if then we get cruising burst above 40, depending on distance, the more distance, the more cruising burst you're going to want. The more it comes into play. So, yeah. There's a chance by the time we hit our peak at about 8 years of age, Greta is going to be up near that 90 ability point. She's got 85 extra speed and just over 50 cruising burst. This could be a very, very nice horse. And right now, it's actually got a lot of speed and acceleration stats as well. So why not test it at 2? Why not test it? A little grade 2. That's fine. Yeah, teenage odds at 2-2. We could go for a novice. It's done flat racing. This could be a solid time to do it. We could open up with just a little cheeky novice, see how we go. That's fine. Vahana, I believe, was running pretty much at 2-4. And I'm wondering now if we run something like this. The mare's hurdle. That might be kind of okay. It's going to be a big test. It's certainly going to be a big test. So I think for me, Farhana and Greater Elegance, those two really are testing the schedule. Because on the old schedule, we just wouldn't win. And in reality, we wouldn't win. But this now has been edited to the point where it looks a lot more like the flat schedule, where you can win big races early. So like a listed race of Farhana shouldn't be too bad. A grade 2 for Greater Elegance is a big step. That is a big step. But I think that's what we want to do. We hold off on Tartan Jury. Get ourselves all set up. And then decide. Because we've bred from Roscoe Blake and Hurricane Electric. And they do turn out really well. So, yeah, I believe the ratings. I believe the racing here as well. Those both still work for me. Roscoe 157, 17 of 49. 2.2 million and 7 grade 1 wins to grade 2. Very, very good. Next one on my list might be Stripe Me Blue. 514 in terms of grades. 11 out of 40 Korea. 2.3 million Korea. 158 rated. At one point was up to 177. At one point was 177. Then had some bad luck. Didn't do too well. Kind of gained back up, dropped off towards the end. Yeah, I think Strike Me Blue might be the play for this first season then. Start off with Grace Agree. Okay, yeah, I thought for a second it was 2 mile. It was going to be disappointing. No, 3 mile. Okay, that's fine. Gray we know is basically 6 furlongs. So the fact that that's in the US, so that'll be what, 2 miles? So 2 miles, and Are we 3 miles? We're a little bit more, maybe a little more. 3.2. So we're somewhere around 2.5, which kind of seems okay too. That kind of seems okay. All right. Yeah, we don't have as much money in the bank. We're not going to be going crazy with it. And yeah, we're fully bought up at Goa Manor Racing. We are still in the same kind of part of the world, but everything's been bought. Everything is good. Pretty happy with that stable in South Wales, near where I am. But yeah, it's kind of going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm a little nervous, but at least this first one's just nice and simple. A little novice, shouldn't need to worry. 2-2, maybe 2-4 suits, but we're going to go to Huntington for a 2-2. And there we go. So new stable, new schedule, first race. And also a horse I don't think we've actually raced before either. The 2-mile, 2-furlong novice race. There we go. Get over on this side, and we are up on the outside of Gosforth Path-Time. That blue silk grey. Malaya Nene up front. Behind us, Iron Agogo. Back to Bal Roberto, Saratoga Dinosaur, and Athos Alfie. Side by side at the back. We're jumping decently well. That's 3 of 8 done. Iron Agogo jumping a little better than most, getting up into second place at the moment as we come now round this long right-hand turn. 10 furlongs to go. Still got half the jumps in this one. On the home stretch, getting that jump. Teenage Odds with a nice little run. We're under a mile from home and we're up into first, but there comes a good jump from Nene and Agogo. It looks like Gosforth Pastime. That beautiful grey with the blue silks is starting to make a bit of a move. Half a mile from home then. Couple more jumps to go. People getting in position, starting to move. Iron Agogo wants to fight for this one. We're coming up. Gosforth going. One more jump to go. Coming up now to the final furlong on the home stretch. It's a good jump from us. It's a good jump from Pastime. Dancer, Saratoga Dancer on the outside. Getting up, getting good. Looking nice. It's going to be Teenage Odds taking this from Gosforth Pastime. Saratoga Dancer back to Ballard Roberto. Iron Agogo falls down. Malaya Nene drops off badly as well. And right at the back is Athos Alfie. Solid run. A solid run. The fact that we booked early, we couldn't pick our jockey. We didn't get a bad one. But you will notice that the one that came within a length of us was ridden by our jockey. So, yeah, that might have made a little bit of distance. But a solid opening win for Teenage Odds. Introductions to the hurdles. Like I say, some flat racing. And we did get that win. So this is, I forgot to mention actually, this might be the only one, I think it is the only one, who survived of our starting horses in this save. So I simulated 10 seasons. This was one of our starting horses before I imported anyone else over. And this was by far the best of the bunch. As a 5-year-old, looked pretty solid. So to start with them also feels fitting to me. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, a solid win. Nothing crazy. Nothing to write home about. But right now we're perfect. 1 of 1. Career and season. 1 of 1. That's what we like to see. Now we've got a lot of big horses who can maybe do something. Yeah, I've got no idea about the auctions, but we're not really going to focus on auctions right now. We're going to focus on breeding. We do have a Oh, there we go. So first winner, and I think £1,000,000 is probably the other one, the missing one, because yeah, it does like to break a little. Okay, Farhana. I'm so used to the other one crashing that I'm still saving, even though I shouldn't need to right now. But Farhana, our first sort of big test. Yeah, pink triangle. That's gonna screw up the test somewhat. We are low rated. We're kind of middle age, low weight. I think we'd have a solid run. Maybe not win, but a solid run. If not for that pink triangle. So I'm not gonna really know unless we still go out and do really well whether or not this race suited. It's just yeah, we're just not settling well, it seems. A little bit of an issue. But I think the distance is right, and I don't think the quality is too far off. Is this another cross-country one? It may well be. Okay. We're in the middle there, just towards the back. Just in behind Ardentini Barari. We've got Soul Rocks, Nafitha between, and Just Fizzy at the back. Didn't really jump that first one all that well. Got a couple of miles left to go as we climb here, ready for the second jump. Solid. Banagesa, Tismia, Lunasa, second and third right now, as Antoni Barari joins them. Valiant Deal has been leading us out the entire way. 1.5 miles. Rounding this turn. Coming downhill now on the side stretch. Floating gate there. Absolutely beautiful. Little over a mile. We're right at the back. We haven't really jumped well so far. We know Farhana's not an amazing jumper, to be fair. Still got a few jumps left now. There's 7. We're going to have to zoom out and go around there for Farhana to be on screen. And yeah, she's gone again. So no point there. Barari going to jump up into first. We're inside the final couple of furlongs. Down the home stretch now. The final furlong. Lunasa's there. Valiant Deal falling back to Soho Rocks as they come charging up into third. Between is just up into fourth. And at the line, Barari holds on from Lunasa. Soul Rocks just up in. And Farhana, like, a long way back. Pink Triangle does damage for sure. But, okay, so we want a shorter trip. We do want a shorter trip. I thought 2-4 would work. I'm guessing that we're more of a 2-2 in that case. So yeah, we probably lost a lot. And then the pink triangle. I'm gonna guesstimate that a pink triangle like that, if it did affect us, would probably be as much as 10 furlongs. 10 lengths. The 2 furlongs that we were probably over distance, I'm gonna say would affect us to the point of like maybe another 20. And that would still put us last, pretty much. That would put us at around the 14 or 15 lengths back off the winner. Whereas I think 6th place came 5 lengths back, so we'd be 10 paces off. So what would 15 do? Would that put us... Yeah, that would put us ahead of Banagay, so it also just was no good. We'd be 10 lengths back on Valiant Deal, so maybe that isn't something, but the fact that the 4-year-old won, is why I don't really buy into we're too young. I think we're not good enough. And it's kind of how I felt about Farhana anyway. But yeah, we're giving people runs to prove us right, prove us wrong. That's just the way that it's going to be. What will be the 5th? So this should be on the 12th. I'm just going to go down the list. And the best thing is we don't need a ton of money because these stud fees are really low at the moment and probably will remain there for a long time. I'm going to check Friday auctions just to see if anything does come up. But the quicker we can get our breeding done, the better as well. There's definitely some interesting ones, but nope. Not really anything to do. So Malibu Sun, and this is going to be our first big race. We had a big sort of milestones already. The first race, Little Novice, we win. Then the first kind of medium to large test, a few conflicting factors, distance and sweating up, not settling very well. But not a great result in that one. And then this is our first kind of real quality test. But I don't think we're a mile off, and I do think that we're really on distance here. 2-1 to 2-2, I would say Malibu Sun loves somewhere around here. Couple of good horses, it looks like. Riviera, and especially Atrof Start. Yeah, definitely a difficult race. Big challenge. First grade 1 of the season. Let's see what Malibu Sun does. Okay. So that crash isn't great. I don't think that's a schedule issue. I think that's a course issue. I've just spent a couple of minutes basically deleting that course, and from the fresh copy I've got from the Start It mod, I just copied and pasted the course over. So my hope is any issues with courses we have now, if I delete the course and add it back in, we should be okay. I've said before this, I've redone the breeding. Farhana came 7th. I think out of 8. Oh, maybe she didn't. Maybe she didn't have a pink triangle this time. We'll have to check that. But yeah, yeah, that's the one I like. That's one I need to check this more often because this, if you can't see the pink triangles or the blue triangles, you can see. So yeah, that's like a pink triangle I didn't actually see on Iris Mary, but you can see here sweating badly and agitated. So we're moving well, lean and ready to go. We're not very fit. There's definitely some good horses. And the tipsters we can see. So yeah. Nice. So yeah, we can see it quite well over here, but I'm used to seeing it by the name sometimes. So if we do miss it, we can check that. Okay, so hopefully this works. Okay, can we actually watch the race? Can we actually watch the race though? We can get to the race course. Can we watch the race? The Clarence House Chase, 2 mile 1 furlong, here at Ascot, Class 1, and the first Grade 1 race of the calendar. 5-year-olds and above able to run. Sam Twiston Davis riding Malibu Sun. We're going to flip the camera. We are towards the rear. We are underway. First jump's actually a pretty good one for Malibu Sun. Moves to the outside. Climbs all the way up into fifth behind Zinneban Flanell. Aircraft start on that inside. The very dangerous horse. And Imperial Sun leading us out, but has had his lead cut. And again, that's pretty good jumping so far from Malibu Sun. Glassenhaus, Aspectus, Iris Mary in the red is sweating badly. Fearfully Riviera and Flemmy Himbook at the back. No bad jumps yet for Malibu, he says, as we jump poorly at 5. Couple of really good jumps and a couple of average jumps. One bad then so far. And Atraf is right there alongside us. Glassenhaus coming up strongly to join the group. Aspectus and Fresnel are there. 6 furlongs to go on Atraf start. The favourite, the danger, is gone. Half a furlong from home then. Aspectus and ourselves right at the front. Imperial House is still there. Glassenhaus, sorry, Imperial Sun is still there. Down to the final 2 furlongs. Jump 14, we clear it, okay, Aspectus clips the front legs. The hooves are hurting. He drops back a bit. They're going to have to make that distance back if they want it. And Malibu Sun, as they cross the final furlong marker. Here comes Aspectus. Zinneban Flanell from deep. We've still got Glassenhaus fighting for this, but nobody's going to get close. The first of the season, and we can watch it happen at Ascot, Grade 1. Let's go. The first big race of the new schedule. Not only can we run it, but we can watch it because I figured out another issue with this game and how I could fix it. Malibu Sun is now a Grade 1 winner. Oh, that feels good. That feels good. Steady start, front rank halfway, led inside final half mile, stayed on strongly. Ooh. Yeah, it might have been a different... might have been a totally different story if Airtraf was running. Yeah. But that's our Clarence House. Up to a 165 rating. We got the distance well. We look good. We are a pretty high level horse. And yeah, even pace never in doubt. Lovely horse. Distance was ideal. Go for the Queen Mother Champion chase next at the Cheltenham Oak course. Oh, it's gonna be so fun. Hopefully profitable, but like so fun just to be able to run Cheltenham as well. Oh, yes. And we can watch Ascot. We can watch Ascot. So now we got Lei Fu, Tatanjuri, and Malibu Sun all at Grade 1. That is fantastic. And Malibu Sun is right up there. Right up there. So career money, we get absolutely blitzed. Season money, we're right up there, of course. But also just rating, we can now actually really compare. So Atraf Start, they were just in there. They fell, but they're a great horse. Aspectus was also in the race, a little Grade 2, but a good Grade 2. Oh yeah, they're a gelding, which is why we haven't watched those. Still far too many geldings for my liking, of course. But yeah, we're right up there. We're number 7 in terms of rating. And that's pretty good. I like that. Leifu's 24, Tanjura 33, Sally Sugar 34. So we do have some pretty decent horses, but not like world beaters. But I like that. Yeah, okay, Farhana didn't do great. So be it. Teenage Odds comes through, wins their first race with us. Malibu Sun gets their first Grade 1 with us. What a start to the schedule. What a start to the schedule. I'm going to run Greta. And this might be kind of bad for us in terms of keeping a winning streak going. Might end up 50% on the season. I like Invincible Lad. He hasn't really bred well. That's fine. Yeah, we are going to run Great Up. Gonna go to Doncaster. And this is a pretty big test. So if Hana was like a big test, this is a very big test. Up to a grade 2. But there are some other 5-year-olds. So again, I don't feel it's going to be the age that really kills us. It's going to be the quality, which is tied to age a little bit. But like, just in general, very tough race, very tough field. But let's go to Doncaster and see then. So we've got a novice win. For Hana, disappointment. A big grade 1 for Malibu Sun. And now 2 mile, 110 yard Yorkshire Rose Mares Hurdle. Class 1, grade 2 for 4-year-olds and above. We are running a 5-year-old. And there we go. This is the view I think we want. So Greater Elegance standing on this near side. Then towards the front, Valiant. Nope, we want this side. Valiant Deal, Zaitri Cante, Medu Tonic, and Baldamera Hunting. All up ahead of us. Statira, Butterfly, Magnet Skimmer, Bramley Triumph, all at the back as well. Poor jump there at number 4. That's going to hurt us. We go right to the back. We're behind the pack now. We're going to have to probably run wide bends to get round them. If we are going to run round them, a mile left to go, jump 5. We are kind of getting killed on the pace there. Just on running, not on jumping. I think if we didn't jump poorly, we wouldn't fall behind. But just generally on jumping isn't enough if you can't also run. And we're so far off the pace because of that. Yeah. Absolutely crazy as we get towards the end. Magnet Skimmer, Baldemar Hunting, Medu Tonic, all fighting for it. Baldemara wins. And that's kind of what I expected. I still think that the Irish horses are very, very strong. Possibly still a touch stronger than the British horses, even though the British horses win the grade 1s because they don't always come across en masse like they used to. But, yeah. Whenever you see the Irish horses, high-rated Irish horses, they're going to be a threat. We just weren't good. And, yeah, my theory of because it's a 4-year-old and up race running a 5-year-old when other 5-year-olds are in it doesn't really work out. It doesn't really work out. So we are going to still have to hold off for any graded races until age 7. Listed races if we're good, possibly at the age 6, but probably age 7. And grade 1's probably age 8 or 9. So I think that's the timeline for our horses. We did our tests on our 5-year-olds and our 6-year-olds. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. So let me know what you think of that in the comment section down below. First month is complete. We've got 3 breeding pairings done. We're already almost done with 4. We've got 2 more to go. We've got 3 races booked here. And then we'll look to start sort of book for Tartan Jury's first race. It's going to be difficult to find something that I'm really liking. But Malibu Sun, so far, that win, that one grade 1, kind of elevates everything else this season. I think with the new schedule, fixing Ascot hopefully moving forward, and having Malibu Sun as a grade 1 winner, I think that's a success for me. So let me know what you think, comment section down below. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good thing. For the algorithm, you know how it works. Closing in on 1,000 subscribers, so please, if you can, hit that button. Let me kind of feel that little endorphin rush to get to a milestone. And also, yeah, check out the other playlists. Check out the memberships if you can. I'll see you next time as a new jumps adventure continues. I think it's going to be a lot better than the old one in so many ways. So much more interesting, so many more big races, a chance to actually progress and maybe one day get a Grand National winner. I think it's now actually possible. And that would be in a field of very good horses, hopefully running the Grand National. So, yeah. So I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate y'all. But best of luck to you. Stay safe and all the best.